When I was looking for a yoga mat before, I saw some yoga mats that had these lines on them, and I found out they're called alignment lines. I did a short on it, but as I have developed this stretching routine more and more, I've discovered how important those alignment lines truly are. On my mat, I have actually made personalized alignment lines. It looks like a random design, but every point helps me when it comes to keeping straight in my stretching routine. I'm going to show you now how to actually personalize your mat so you can get a maximization of every single stretch, but also you can use your progress as motivation so you can really follow through with your daily attainable goal. Now, the first thing I wanted to do was find the center point of my mat. So what I did was I measured horizontally so I can make a vertical line in the center of the mat, and I did the same measurement vertically so I can make a horizontal line in the middle of the mat. Now that I know the center point of my mat, I can now develop my personalized alignment lines. Since my favorite pose is child's pose, I wanted to build my alignment lines around that. What I want to do in child's pose, I want to make sure that my feet are as close to the edge as possible of the mat. Because what I want to do, just like in any pose, I want to maximize my mat so I'm able to get the most out of every stretch. So now what I do is I sit on the heels of my feet. I go ahead and spread my legs apart to a comfortable position. So what I did was I took a permanent marker and put 2 points right here on my mat for my starting point in child's pose. I know that when I sit down on my mat, when I do child's pose, that I am in this exact same position every time. And it is accurate and it gives me extreme pose integrity. Now that I know I'm centered, I have my starting points, I'm able to start off with my hands in the absolute center position and continue to go up. Okay, I've got this point here, and it's a comfortable place to be, so I put 2 dots right there. So I got dots there, and I got dots here. So what I did is here's the center point. Went like that. From the horizontal line, took line, came right down here. So we have these portions here. I can begin to go down into child's pose and see I can keep myself absolutely aligned and in the middle because I see my vertical alignment line. Now, as I look down on the mat, I see that the alignment line is right in the middle of my face, which is perfect. That's exactly where it is to be. But I'm also able to see how close I am to the center of the mat. So I am actually, during the pose, able to see my progress as I'm doing the stretch. Extend a little farther if you can as you exhale. As you're doing just your slow, mindful breathing, you don't have to think about anything else. Just clear your mind. This is your time to come down. This is your time to forget about all the things that just happened today. Now as we go into superhero, go farther up to the stretch and nail it down. I like to do it like this because see, this is I have a marker now. Breathe in. And as I breathe in, the expansion causes the fingers to even dig more and more to the mat. Breathe out. When I come out of the pose, you want to come out of this very slow, one vertebrae at a time. But the thing is that I use the alignment lines in this way because I come out and I have to rest for a second because I'm going to be breathing in. So I go like this to keep myself aligned. I even have my hands like this, and I use the alignment lines on the inside of my arms to make sure that I am straight, completely straight and aligned every single time the same. Slowly out of the pose, come up out of the pose, sit straight up. As I look at my mat, I see that this is the starting position where I started with my fingers when I finished the pose and went through superhero. This is now how far I have gone in child's pose. I see that gives me motivation to even go farther when it comes to my pose integrity. And as I built my personal alignment lines by going through different poses within my personalized stretching routine. I found that those 4 points that I started off in child's pose is now this, which guides me through my whole entire stretching routine. Be safe.